Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this bill deals with some heavy issues, and in my opinion, it deals with them badly. This amendment tries to clean up some of the problems in the underlying bill. This amendment, Mr. Speaker, basically has two parts. One is it adds a new intent section to the underlying bill, which recognizes existing federal constitutional case law that is really controlling on the matter, the policy point that the underlying bill is attempting to address. And Mr. Speaker, that policy point, to boil it down to its essence, is forcing women to inspect and in some cases handle men's bodies. And Mr. Speaker, this issue has been considered by federal appeals courts, by the U.S. Supreme Court in different contexts, and those courts have ruled consistently that to force a woman to physically handle a man's body can create psychological and other stress and injury to that woman. So the proposed intent section in this amendment cites those federal court rulings and establishes, I think, properly the legal and constitutional context for the damaging effects that the underlying policy may cause. There's another element to this amendment, Mr. Speaker, that I think does improve this deeply flawed proposal, and that is it makes it clear in law that our state attorney general is obligated, has a duty to defend a woman who may be employed by a jail or a local corrections facility who is forced into an illegal or unconstitutional action, or conversely, is named as a defendant in some kind of legal action because she refuses to be put into such a circumstance. Mr. Speaker, this element of the amendment is important because, as the current state attorney general has shown repeatedly, he is sometimes not clear on what his duties in the law are. And so this amendment makes it clear that if there's a legal action involving a woman who is forced by this unfortunate policy to do something she doesn't want to do, or on a point of principle refuses to do something that this ill-advised policy forces her to do, that the state attorney general must defend her and the institution for which she works against some kind of claim based on, frankly, psychological mumbo-jumbo. We want it to be crystal clear that if this flawed policy is put into effect, the state attorney general has a duty to protect the woman who stands up for her own boundaries and her own principles. Mr. Speaker, if we don't make this clear in the law, I'm afraid the flawed underlying policy will be weaponized and turned into a divisive and disastrous public policy for this state. Mr. Speaker, it can create legal liabilities that we're already dealing with in this state on other fronts. And if that happens, our state attorney general needs to have clear instructions from us that he must defend the woman who stands on her principles. Mr. Speaker, this amendment doesn't fix everything that's broken in the underlying policy, but I think it sets both a good context at the beginning of the proposal and a necessary guardrail around the repercussions, either intended or unintended, that are likely to follow from the underlying policy. It's an essential improvement. Please vote yes.